Hello my friends and welcome back to another helicopter video. I'm very sorry for those who like the fixed wings, but I'm still taking on helicopters in XPlane 12 and I will lately explain you why I'm still focused on XPlane and Helos. Here I'm in the Robinson R44 Raven 2 at Tromsø airport in Norway, and I'm starting up the machine. Very simple, and it's a reciprocating piston engine helicopter, and I'm going through the startup procedure. And let's check the instruments and starting. Okay, let's close the door. Let's check all the switches are in the correct position. For example, check the governor should be in the off position, and it is. Okay, the battery is on, the clutch is now on, navigation lights and strobe lights are coming on, and then we have the okay, the rotating system should be okay. Great. Let's now start the governor. It's here. It's very difficult to pick in VR. Okay. Okay, so the governor takes care of the rotating system. Let's check needles. The two needles here should match. So landing lights are now on. We are good to go. Let's start moving. In VR it's simpler to fly helicopters than in the flat screen, because you have the feeling of the deepness of the scene, so you can feel, literally you can feel the aircraft, and you can in every moment you are aware of the position of the aircraft. So in my opinion it's far simpler than in 2D. Okay, let's now take off from Tromsø airport. Let's enter the runway. Smooth turn, and let's give a bit of collective. You have to be very smooth with the rudder pedals. And okay, we are airborne. So we will take a look at the Tromsø area here. This has been carefully prepared with Auto for XP, because I think that it's the only way to properly flying helicopters in XPlane is to, you know, carefully build up a scenery dedicated to your helicopter flight. And auto is not suitable because the zoom level of 16 is not enough, in my opinion, for an helicopter's experience. You need to go deeper. You need to add more detail. So you need to use the Auto for XP application. You have to choose manually the proper imagery sources that suits more the area, which maybe, for example, is mostly cloudiness. So you have to make a mix of the better imagery sources. So maybe you have to make a mix between Google, Bing and Arc and so on. Then you mix all things together and get the best scenery. The zoom level has to be enough high, has to be at least 17 or 18 or higher to enjoy the close-up scene you have in the Helos flights. And to me it feels like XPlane 12 is better in some way than Microsoft Flight Simulator. Well, not because of the close-up detail you can have, because in XPlane close-up details are not so good as in Flight Simulator. But after the release of version 12.2, XPlane has got more performance, so the feeling of flying is, you know, far more realistic to me than Flight Simulator 2024, especially in flying helicopters. Flight Simulator 2024 has got a good flight model for Helos, but it's not on par with XPlane 12. So I'm still taking on helicopters because I'm learning how to fly them. It's not simple aircraft to master. I mean, helicopters compared to the fixed wings, because you have to manage three things together at the same time. So the collective, the stick and the rudder pedals, you have to get the hang of it prior to reach, you know, an acceptable skill. And it takes time, it takes a lot of practice. And I found that XPlane 12 is the best simulator to learn helicopters flying with, and also provided a good scenery is made. Also the lighting, the movements, you know, the atmosphere in XPlane, now that it's performing very good, they are better for me. Okay, somebody could say that the graphics are not good. In my opinion, they are not so bad, but it's not the details that matter, in my opinion. Rather, it's the feeling of flight, especially in the virtual reality. They are important, and they are better in XPlane. So this is a flight around the Tromsø area. Tromsø lies in an island which is called, I think it's called Tromsøya, and I apologize for my pronunciation. And now I'm crossing the Tromsø bridge, and I'm heading to the mainland. This is the Tromsø bridge. Beautiful 3D model. It's an add-on. That you can see that it's a mountain. It's a very scenic mountain you can admire from the cityscape. It has got a difficult name. I think it's called Tromsdalstingen, I think. And now I'm heading south. Here it is, the beautiful mountain. Okay, now I'm with the Robinson R44 Raven 2, which is one of the best copter to start flying with. It's very slow and, you know, forgiving helicopter. I've started with it, and then I've moved lately with more powerful ones like the Airbus AS350 or more powerful models. So my advice is to start with slow machines and then move with more with faster ones. And you can see from your horizon the panoramic view here in XPlane is beautiful. These are auto for XPlane made tiles with a zoom level of 17. Ortho imagery. They are very good from far. Okay, if you go close up, they are still not bad, but they are not the level of Flight Simulator 2024. We agree with this because 2024 has got a procedural, a procedural building of the close-up scenery. So when you get closer to the ground, there is a code that builds up the scenery. Whenever you get closer, so in xplane you don't have this, okay. You have the moving trees, okay, but whenever you get closer to the ground, it feels pretty much flat and dull and dead and not alive like is in Flight Simulator 2024. Anyway, the far image, the scene from far, in my opinion, is better in xplane. As you can see, the mountains are like more detailed. Maybe because the altimetric source here is more accurate. Of course, there are add-ons in Flight Simulator by which you can improve the altimetry, and there are some mountains that are real 3D made. Here in xplane you don't have them, but the photographic scenery together with the lightning, together with the atmosphere overall, and of course the flight model, all these make xplane 12 a perfect simulator to fly Helos. So you can see there's beautiful details. Okay, now I'm heading south. I'm still in the mainland and heading to a fjord which is I don't remember its name. Anyway, this is plenty of fjords here in Norway. Beautiful country. Never been there in real life, but I wish I could do someday. And now I'm getting back to Tromsø. Yes, here I'm south of Tromsø. Prior to start this flight, I tried to study some names, but I actually don't remember all of them, many of them. For example, this is a motor stadium, I think. It's there's some motocross riding, I think. And I'm heading south, and I'm finding my way back to Tromsø. You can see that also the low flight is not bad at all. You don't have the grass, you don't have the details of Flight Simulator, but the overall scene is beautiful with a good auto imagery. Also the trees you can see here are an add-on by Orbx, and they are called the global forests, which in my opinion gives a better representation of forests and biodiversity of trees compared with the default trees. You see, this is again at Tromsø Bridge. I'm getting back to the Tromsø island. Sim Heaven scenery has many details, like the harbors like this. I forgot to say that Here I have another add-on for bridges, for Norwegian bridges, which adds so much detail to bridges, and you can find it's free in the org site, xplane.org site. You can see I put the link in the description. Now I'm getting back to the airport. I'm trying to make a smooth landing. We've got plenty of runway ahead to get lower, and we have to adjust at the same time the pitch, collective, and rudder pedal to control the aircraft, and a roll also in order to keep the aircraft straight, and the combination of those three controls that make the heli go straight. And you also have to control speed. Okay, we are now back to the taxiway, back to base. Another detail is the tarmac or asphalt. You know, here all these nuances, you can see the roughness is very good in X-Plane, better than Flight Simulator in my opinion. As far as the taxiways are concerned, let's go to our parking, and it comes the final touchdown, and I will try to be as much smooth as possible. Okay, not a bad one. I've scratched something. Let's see it from the replay. Also, the instant replay is a feature that is missing in Flight Simulator, and I would like to have it in the next update. You can see here, it's the instant replay is wonderful and it's effortless. You just click a button. It's beautiful. Okay, let's shut it down. It's very easy. That's it for today, my friends. Thank you very much, as usual, for following. And I can say take care and see you to the next one. Bye bye.